Hi, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. I am here with director Sean Stone, and we are talking about some of the latest things that have been up and coming since our last panel we did with Carrie. Um, what was that, yesterday? Day before yesterday? Carrie. I don't know.
I'm
Time is an illusion, isn't it? But thank you for coming on the show today and imparting your great wisdom and what is happening right now. Isn't this fun?
it's fun. It's a unique moment in history, in human history, and this has been a unique. I think we've all been, most of us have been awake, who are out now, being the lights that we are, doing the work we're doing, awake for some time. It still is that great transformation to go through. Awake, we all have to go through this together. So it's not easy to and understand multidimensionally more of the nature control structure and how the human has been enslaved for thousands and thousands of years. We still go through this, which is our transformation towards liberty.
Oh, wait. Hey, I think your mic is like coming in and out, or your sound. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, yeah.
It's like clicking.
That's actually very good. Okay. Let's try that.
Okay.
Is that better?
I think so, but your picture's gone now. While he's getting that straight, I think I can see you guys. There we go. There, you're back. Say a few things. Oh, it's frozen. Interesting. Oh, my goodness. This happened when I was doing an interview with Robert Steele last week, and I actually lost power, and it did the same thing. So I'll give it a minute and see if you can pop out and pop back in. There we go. So basically, we had spoken earlier. I don't know if any of you guys saw the video that I was doing, or that I did this morning, because I was just a little bit, it was hilarious that they did this big to-do show last night. I did not watch it on purpose, but I picked up my phone and basically someone was streaming it live. And I was like, are you even kidding me? Because, yeah, but I don't know if any of you saw it, whether on purpose or accidentally. But the thing is, we have to keep our power and keep our sovereignty. And what I really do believe is that they're doing their best to put this out in image form. So all of us as a collective with our power and our creative power can come into agreement with that. We lock in with our eyes and we see what is on the screen, and we image a nation. And our ear gates, our eye gates, all of those things connect with the hard drive of who we are, and then it sets something out in the biofield. I want to make sure that I really wanted you guys to hear what he has to say. Hey, Teresa. Let's see. So Sean, if you guys aren't familiar with Sean and his work, he's a director, he's an author. You may have heard of his dad, Oliver Stone. He's done a few movies too, one or two. Okay, Sean. Let's see. Hey, while we're waiting for him to get back on, I'd love to hear where you guys are from. We got Alabama, we got Halen Country, we got Ohio. Hey guys, Jennifer Mullins. We got New Zealand is on here. Okay, here he is. Let me add him.
How's the connection?
All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How's my connection?
Oh, no. I cannot hear you at all. Can you guys hear him? Cindy from Louisiana. Let's see. Sean.
Can't hear me?
This sucks. Okay. Can any of you guys hear Sean? Let me see. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine, yeah.
Okay. They can hear me. Let's see.
That's
Okay, what'd you just do?
it works.
There. Okay, good. All right, so go ahead, jump in. Finish what you were saying.
Well, let's just give it a second. Make sure it's stabilized now.
Yes. Say testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, gotcha.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So where to begin?
Yeah, I was talking while you were coming in and out, and I was explaining how they're actually using our creative power for their benefit because they're betting on us to lock in to that ridiculous freaking playtime dress up show they did last night as they promenaded all around and pretend meaning to tend to as if it happened, and hoping that we would connect to that, accept it, lock our eye gates and our ear gates into it, and then use that to create into our biofield the reality of that being true. And you definitely understand the power of that. And as a collective, to put it on all the mainstream, not to mention, of course, anything that has been that is actually true is censored. So they're only allowing their narrative to be out there. They even took down Judge Janine's show last night. She's suspended for the week on Fox because she was actually going to talk about the fraud. And I mean, I don't know if she might quit or who knows what happens, but give us your insight. I want to hear from you.
I'd love to see her link up with Glenn Greenwald and even Tucker, and they should all form their own network, because this is the time that we're being called into. We're being called into our truth as creators, as sovereigns. We're no longer owned by corporations. And that a corporation does include the corporation. See, people have gone along with the fantasy, the cave reality, the matrix reality so long, they forgot what it is to be born on this earth as a free being that is multidimensional, that is galactic in terms of its your soul memory, and what you are did not begin or end on this earth. But if you're born into the cave, as Plato told thousands of years ago, and all you see is shadow play on the wall, that's your reality. That's what media is. It's simply shadow play that people are taking for reality. You know, you go into a news broadcast, it's a picture show, right? With a script and actors and all the dressing. It gets more evolved as you go through the evolution of film. And it's the place where we have CGI and all these effects, and even themselves looking slightly artificial go on age, and they start making the face look Botox and perfect, sort of non-human anymore. A lot of these actors and actresses out there, because they're disengaging us from reality. This was actually a big aspect of why television was so important. Bring this false reality into your home so that you wouldn't actually know what reality was anymore when you engage with it. Which is to say, I always tell people, reality is not in your TV set. It's whatever your experience is of the thing. That is your reality. So if you walk outside and you experience nature, for example, you have a feeling of nature, you have an experience with a tree or a squirrel or a living being, living things, right? You experience people in the real world as living. That's that is an experience of reality that people, they want to divorce us from, to put us more and more into this sort of cyborg podling Brave New World agenda, where we'll be basically existing through experiences of others, right? Disconnecting from that intimacy of living beings, knowing each other, smelling, breathing the same air, sharing frequency. You can only share so much, but that's what they want to normalize. And it began, again, with television. It evolved with the gaming reality that so many kids became addicted to, myself included at one time, forcibly ended that addiction. But that addiction to a false reality becoming more normalized, to the place where we normalize the notion of lockdown. We normalize the notion of kids being home in virtual bubbles, or being at school in virtual bubbles, unable to social distancing and masking. You understand? This is the normalcy, and a lot of it is brought on through the pharmacological revolution, which is to say the drugging, the mass drugging of, which was Huxley's whole point with Brave New World. We understand how drugs will help to keep the mind from interfacing with reality, but as the mind interfaces with false reality, it doesn't operate quite the same way, and as a result, it needs something to pacify it. Oftentimes comes from the opioid sector or something to that effect, to basically pacify your mind that is no longer able to interface with reality in a 360 multidimensional manner. It's becoming more and more two-dimensional through the screen. Even if they call it three-dimensional because of virtual reality, it's still more and more two-dimensional, even one-dimensional. That's why when people look on at these candidates, then and see this as an expression of the Vogue magazine reality, where someone looks good as a candidate because they look like me, or they have this look that I can appreciate. It's just same with acting. It's a look. Who's writing the script? Who's creating the plays? Who's actually the puppeteer creating the shadow work in we live in? And we don't have to live in that cave. The more that we actually step outside of the media matrix, or we step outside of the control apparatus of the matrix. Now, granted, we all at some level interface with the matrix every day. It's the currency that we operate with, the money that we have to exchange to survive in that society. It's certain laws that we have basically been co-opted into since our birth, since we were given a certificate of birth. We were given social security identification numbers, basically being taxed with or without our approval, with or without constitutional validity, right? This is the matrix, and it's intrinsic to the modern reality we live in, but no one wants to get to that level because it's so overwhelmingly vast. The empire that's enslaved humanity for thousands and thousands of years. But more people are waking up to it. And the first step, of course, to actually transitioning out of that shared dream, which is a matrix, which is a false light reality, the shadow play on the cave wall, is becoming aware that it is a shadow play. And then from there, you can start to make decisions to put your energy and direct it into things that actually are meaningful towards the ultimate evolution of mankind, which is what we're now facing. We're at the dawn of a new age. Energetically, it may not feel that way because it can feel very dark at the moment, and it can be very scary for many people, especially if you're waking up. If you're waking up, it can be very scary. If you're not awake, God help you. Good luck. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're waking up, it's scary. We're here to say we, the lights that have been awake for some time and have been working to express the awakeness and the possibility that there are alternate ways of seeing the world and being in the world alone. We continue to emphasize that you are not alone, and we are here to support, help guide, and ultimately, in the fractal nature of reality, to reinforce each other. Because we can and will create a reality separate from that'll play in the cave wall.
Yes, and I didn't get to go over your bio, but as being a director and coming from a family of directors, I think you might know a little bit about the whole theatrics and the screen within the screen within the screen within the screen, and how people can set it all up, because that's what you've been doing as a director. You know what they're doing and how this is being played out.
Yes.
Why don't you give us a little bit of your background just so people understand?
So I grew up on film sets. My dad was directing films like Wall Street and JFK and Natural Born Killers and The Doors, all of which I played in as, you know, little roles as a kid. But it gave me a good understanding what it is to, you know, the work that goes into making a production. And also, again, as I said, the shadow, hearing the energetic illusion, spell casting, crafting that goes into these projects, some of which noble intention, but don't necessarily have that. Right? If you notice many films that of a darker or a dark things that many of esque or natural. But there is an important part of Hollywood. I don't think that Hollywood is only, many people perhaps give it unfairly because there are great musicians working and who are helping to see through where we're going to go. I think the next step is really back to our self-empowerment as individuals saying, well, the creator of the future. I can become the spellcaster of my reality. I can become the dream. I don't hold into their visions any longer. So our somnambulance, our collective dream weaving that we've for so long been under the spell of other traditions, asked to step into our sovereignty as creators.
Amen. Awesome. Yes, I agree. They're saying that the audio is still cutting out at times. I don't know why.
I hear it crackling actually on my.
You can hear it too?
Yeah, I can hear it crackling.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but as we wrap up here, can you just tell us what you foresee? Like, what can we do? I mean, from my perspective, I'll share the same thing I did on the panel is, you know, really focusing on nature and doing anything external, like, you know, doing the inner work, really focusing on people, hugging, you know, being with your friends and, you know, turning off all this stuff, you know, not participating unless it is something like you were saying a few minutes ago that is going to be productive and helpful and serve and love. You know, crystals and oils, and, you know, you could do all that, and there's science to that, but also just a healthy diet and getting in the sun. And, you know, we're here at the beach today and just doing the things, staying hydrated, take magnesium baths, you know, but, and who you're with is really important too, because that is all contagious and transferable. The code, especially there's a 6 feet, 8 feet biofield that's actually very transferable. And of course, that's interesting that when they want to do the separation of us, it's 6 feet, you know, go figure. And so anyway, but give us your 2 cents on that.
Yes, this is of internal transformation. Each one of us is being asked to improve ourselves, bring out the darkness to light, because it's happening. We're only halfway through Pluto's return. That's a huge factor with going on as far as the polarization, revolutionary time period we're living in. So the shadow work is happening externally. But where do I stand in my internal journey?
Yes. So I am going to post up all of your website information, your Twitter. He's on IG. You know, you guys can, I'm going to put all of those in the link so you have clickable ways to actually connect with him. He's got some great videos. He's authored several books. He's got all kinds of stuff on Gaia channel and different documentaries that he's done. I do encourage you guys to reach out and follow him and participate, you know, explore if this resonates with you in any way. And those of you who this is your first time to even connect with me, go to swiftfire.org. You can get on our newsletter. It's absolutely free. It's one of the best ways that you can get with me right now, especially because I've been in Facebook jail a few times, and I want to make sure that if anything happens and we get censored, then I can find you and we can stay connected. But again, thank you so very, very much, Sean, for your work, because you're actually the key to the opposite of this. And when I talked to him off camera, you know, we were talking about this whole narrative that's going on. And, you know, I was like, when we shared about when are we going to do this, he was like, as soon as possible, because this is the swirl right now. And it's true, because this has been such a dump of energy that's come through. We have to integrate through that. We don't have to. We get the opportunity to. We get the opportunity to integrate through that and to rise up and to stay above the snake line in this situation. And you know, there are so much going on. There's so much that is coming to light, whether it's the ballot fraud and the watermarking. And I mean, there's just ridiculous amounts of stuff with the pens and the markers. You guys just hold the line, focus on yourself. Do not get baited into any of this BS right now, and just really do what Sean was saying about focusing on the inside. Look at yourself, because as you upgrade, we are upgrading as a collective, and we are actually shifting not just this world, but worlds. And so definitely do connect with him, and he's doing some really great creative stuff for the light, and you guys do not want to miss anything that he's doing. So please do follow. He's a truther and a patriot and a really, really connected person. So anyway, thank you so much, Sean. And I do hope to have you back again, and we can maybe do this with a better audio situation. I'm not sure what happened, and I apologize to everybody who this is not sure what happened. I'm not a techie person, but we'll figure it out and hopefully do it again.
Sure, we
All
can.
right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Dr.
All right,
Sam.
bless you. Thank you, Sean. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, guys.